On the 29th of November, Alfa Laval hosted its annual Capital Markets Day at its site in Søborg outside Copenhagen. Tom Eriksson, CEO and president of Alfa Laval, underlined the importance of being able to discuss Alfa Laval's strategic journey with investors and analysts face to face.
Well, first of all, it was great to see them. We know them very well. We haven't met physically for a number of years, so it felt like it was a big update on what happened since last time. And so that was good. Then, of course, the big issue for them is to understand Alfa Laval's roles in the whole sustainability trend and the rebuild of the global energy system. So we talked a lot about our development portfolio, how we are relevant, and where we're going as a company over the next decade, actually.
You did explain a lot about sustainability and the journey that Alfa Laval is on. If you should highlight some of your key points in that area, what would that be?
For our own operations, the focus today was on the emission side and the carbon neutrality plan. We are working along a lot of areas related to wastewater, to circularity, safety at work, and so the package is broad. But for this crowd, since we were so focused on the energy efficiency side, we really focused in on our CO2 emission side and how we plan to get to a carbon neutrality in 2030. I think for us it is partly a housekeeping plan. It's the right thing to do plan. But we also believe that if we're going to develop solutions to our customers to help them with the CO2 problem, we got to deliver a product that is carbon dioxide free. And that's what we're aiming for. We're excited about it.
You also talked a bit about the market and what is actually driving the market in terms of sustainability. So how do you look upon that?
It's an unusually difficult time. Anybody who reads the paper can see that the downturn in the global economy is going to hit us badly. As we speak, interest rates are up, cost inflation are up, energy prices are up, consumer spendings are down on typical consumer needs. So we will meet a tough economic environment in 2023. That's a given. What is not so easy to figure out is how is this going to affect the need to replace natural gas with heat pumps in Europe, how we're going to start to build up the hydrogen systems, how we will deal with the waste heat recovery, which is now a better investment than ever before. And so we are a little bit in two sides of the story here. And for now, we are actually betting that we're going to keep the pace in capacity and building our company strong. Should the bad times hit, we are ready and we will have to act. But right now, we are somewhat positive despite all the turmoil.
It was clear from your presentation and the presentations from the divisions that there are a lot of exciting things going on in the company. What excites you the most?
To me, it's not about the individual products or technologies. There is a lot of excitement around that. But to me, the excitement is to see how we as a whole firm are managing to change pace and speed in who we are and what we're doing and get an entrepreneurial spirit and action to go in a pace that I didn't believe. If you asked me 5 years ago, I said, I don't think it's going to happen. And to see that materialize with the spirit that we have and the teams who are working on it, they're partly here presenting today. It's just a fantastic inspiration.
Nish Patel, Executive Vice President of Alfa Laval's Food and Water Division, said that he foresees a future with many new opportunities for the division.
Nish, you just came off the stage talking to the analysts and investors. What did you tell them?
Well, the bottom line for me was that we have a good market position at the moment. The business side of things are still going well. We don't see any slowdown really in the marketplace today, and that we expect our business to keep on growing with a lot of new opportunities that we see, as well as new product development that is coming into the marketplace.
Today you talked a lot about some of the new, you called them structural growth opportunities. What are they?
Yeah, there are two main ones that I talked about today. One was HVO, the hydro-treated vegetable oil, where we have got business ourselves from Alfa Laval, but also with the newly acquired company Dismet. We have opportunities to grow together in that market, and we see that market going continuously at least until 2030. The second one I talked about, where we see a lot of opportunities, is an alternate protein. We know that the protein alternatives are already in marketplace, starting with vegetable protein, but other proteins will also come in the near future. And the market share of alternate protein is quite small today. From 2%, it is expected to go up to 15-16% by 2035.
It's sounded from your presentation today that you have a lot of great things going on in the division, but what excites you the most?
It's difficult to answer one thing that excites me the most, but I think if we look at it really, the center of things that are going on, what is exciting is around sustainability. To make the world much more sustainable and make sure that what we can offer are much more sustainable solutions for us and our customers.
The demand for energy-saving technology and clean energy will be substantial in the future, and Thomas Muller, Executive Vice President of Alfa Laval's Energy Division, believes that the company will be an important player when it comes to meeting this demand.
Just came off the stage talking to Alfa Laval's investors and analytics. What did you tell them?
Yeah, so the mission I had today, I felt, was to give them more insight and what role we are playing in the whole energy transition. And that means we have the energy efficiency side, we have the clean energy, and we have the circularity, and how our products and technologies really fit into those existing but also new applications. So that was the storyline.
You showed us a lot of potentials in the market, both short-term and long-term. And if you just highlight, where are we right now? What are we looking into for the coming years in terms of demand?
So I think if we look at only a couple of years ahead, I think the energy efficiency will continue to drive our agenda together with the circularity. There is so much more we need to do. If you look at the United Nations report that came out, we are behind. The energy efficiency has to contribute much more until 2030. And we are ready, we have the technologies, we just need to deploy them. So we need energy hunting going in a new scale.
So when we talk about long term, what applications do we need to deliver to the market?
Yeah, so I think in parallel with what I said now, we need to develop and deploy demonstration plants and so on in the new energy landscape. And those starts to scale, I would say, in 2, 3, 4 years from now. And that's when we need to be ready with our technologies, with the footprint and so on. So that's the main focus. So we are not talking about 10 years before things will scale. It is moving more and more, or being preponed more and more.
It was clear from your presentation today that you have a lot of exciting things going on in the division. What excites you the most?
Yeah, then I have to say, working with all our great people. We have so much going on with inclusion, diversity, bringing on much more talent, even more talent, transformational leadership and so on, and making teams reach things that they didn't think was possible, and they are doing it, and that is really accelerating the journey to the net zero much faster than we could do without that. So that's the greatest thing, I would say.
And in Alfa Laval's Marine Division, optimism is high, with many exciting products in the company's future portfolio, as explained by Executive Vice President Samir Kalra.
So, Samir, you just came off the stage talking to the analysts and investors. What did you tell them?
We had 3 topics on our agenda. A, there was a strong interest to know how is the marine capital sales market looking, both related to shipbuilding and to our environmental portfolio. Secondly, we addressed the big elephant in the room. What are we doing to address our profitability? And last but not the least, we looked a little bit long term to see what are we doing around our long-term portfolio transformation that we introduced to the Capital Markets Day last year. So we covered both the short, the medium, and the long term.
You talked a lot about the portfolio. What excites you about that?
If you see, the reason to go down this path has been to make sure that our portfolio remains relevant to the needs of the industry going forward. Shipping is trying to transition into a decarbonized industry, go to net zero possibly by 2050. And our big task here is to make sure that we make solutions available to our customers because they need them in order to succeed in what they are trying to do. So it's super exciting to be a part of our customers' journey.
If you just highlight the market trends within marine right now, what are the customers actually looking for?
There are two areas that the customers are really keen. One is around energy efficiency. We believe, or our customers believe, that this is one path. In order to be able to get to net zero, the expectation is 25% of the journey will be covered by energy efficiency. Fuel not used is the perfect zero carbon fuel. And the balance 75% is how to work with low carbon and zero carbon fuels, and we are working around these to get solutions for these as well.
So today you showed a lot of exciting new applications coming out from the division. If you just pick one as an example of something that excites you the most, what would that be?
Unequivocally, it would be the Alfa Laval Ocean Bird, I mean, just think of a vessel, zero emissions, no sound, no fuel, no vibration, nothing coming from the stack, sailing through the water. Great for the environment, great for the sustainability. I mean, isn't this absolutely outstanding?
Due to the degree of uncertainty in the world, the questions from the investors and the analysts have changed since the last Capital Markets Day.
It's different, and they struggle because they want to put the number in the spreadsheet. So how much are we going to sell of this next year and 5 years from now? And of course, our financial plan is not disclosed, and the uncertainty, not in terms of so much what is going to happen, but in what pace it's going to happen for the next 10 years. That's the real tricky judgment for us and for them. And so I think we are all, trying to make some judgments as to how fast will this go and how big is that upside, and are we, over optimistic in how everything will happen or not. And that's the whole discussion, I think, and that's why so many are here today to use us also as a bit of a lever to understand the transition and how fast it's going to go.